All right, so picture this. You're this, like, highly skilled Russian military pilot.
Yes.
You manage to escape Russia.
Yeah.
In a stolen helicopter, right? You get a new life, new identity in Spain, fresh start. But then
Yeah.
you're tracked down and assassinated. That's the crazy true story we're diving into today.
It's yeah, it's a case that really highlights just how far some regimes will go to silence anyone they see as a threat.
Exactly. They're talking about Maxim Kusmanov. You might have heard his name, right?
Yeah.
Made headlines like twice. First for that crazy escape from Russia, and then, well, tragically for his assassination in Spain. Like, just a normal town, too, not some...
Yeah. And all the details, all the evidence just screams spy thriller, We've got bullet holes, burnt out getaway car, even photos of the guys they think did it. One of them, ex-KGBs, supposedly.
Well, okay, so rewind a bit. Kuzmanov's escape, right? This wasn't just like sneaking over a border. The guy flew under the radar, literally, in a stolen military helicopter. And on top of that, he handed over some seriously valuable intel to the Ukrainians.
And that's key to understanding this whole thing. Kuzmanov wasn't just some political defector, right? This guy knew the ins and outs of Russian military ops, made him a huge target. That's why Ukraine gave him like a massive reward, $500,000, new identity, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, high stakes right from the get-go. But even with warnings to stay put, Kuzmanov ends up in Spain, and that's where they got him. The assassination itself, it's chilling, to say the least. They waited like 5 hours in a garage, used silencers, then torched the car with like industrial accelerant. Clearly pros, no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely. Planned down to the last detail.
Yeah.
And it fits the MO of Russian intelligence. Even the ammo they use, specifically Russian, like a calling card almost. And when you look at this alongside all the other unexplained deaths of people who criticize Putin, there's a pattern there.
Yep.
A really disturbing one. They even call it mysterious Russian death syndrome.
Wow. And to make it even creepier, Russian state TV actually celebrated Kuzmanov's death, right? Sending a message, a very clear one. Don't even think about betraying us.
Right, and that brings up the whole question of, like, global consequences. Spain slapped a gag order on it. Nobody wants to officially blame Russia. It's a whole geopolitical tightrope walk. They want to condemn it, but they also don't want to escalate things.
Yeah.
Tricky situation with potentially worldwide consequences.
Yeah.
How far does Putin's reach actually go? That's the big question.
It is. But then, get this. Months after Kuzmanov's dead, photos pop up. He's at an air show, alive and well. Everyone's freaking out. Did he survive? Turns out it was a Ukrainian intelligence officer.
In disguise.
Classic disinformation. It's becoming more and more common now. It's like a whole other battlefront. Ukraine's fighting back, not just with guns and tanks, but with information too. They want to sow doubt, protect future defectors. It's a game of smoke and mirrors now. Hard to know what's real, who to trust. Yeah, it's a crazy twist. But at the end of the day, we got to remember the real tragedy here, right? Behind all the intrigue, the spy stuff, there's a guy who lost his life, Maxim Kusmanov. And his story, it reminds us of the very real danger the defectors face in this world of international espionage.
And this Kuzmanov thing, it's not like it's a one-off, sadly. We've seen a lot of these mysterious deaths, right? People connected to Putin or, well, critics of his. Especially since the war in Ukraine started, it's got to be over 60 cases now across Russia and Europe even.
It's scary, really. But there was that report, right? The gas executive found dead in his villa in Spain with his whole family, and that real estate guy fell down the stairs, they said, in France. It's like every other week there's another one.
And then there's the whole falling out of windows thing in Russia. It's become like almost a joke, but a dark one, All these suspicious deaths, it's got European officials on edge. Can you blame them?
Not at all. I mean, we've seen what Russia's been doing, trying to like stir up trouble in Europe, messing with arms shipments, those railway lines, even that underwater gas pipeline, remember, in the Baltic Sea. It makes you wonder, right? Is this like a bigger war, an undeclared one with the West?
It's a question a lot of people are asking. And the EU, they're taking it seriously, it seems. They've hit Russia with new sanctions, going after specific people, organizations, the ones they think are behind all the violence and stuff, acting on Russia's behalf.
Yeah, it's something at least.
Yeah.
Holding them accountable. But who knows if it'll actually stop anything,
Right.
right? And it's not just Europe that needs to worry. Even here in the U.S., there's been Russian intelligence activity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, remember that case? Alexander Povey, the double agent who came over to Miami. They were tracking him, someone connected to Russian intel, photos of his car, watching his apartment garage.
Yeah.
Same playbook as Kuzmanov. Straight out of it.
So they're here too, basically.
Yeah.
Russia's reach goes that far. Luckily, the FBI, they stepped in with Povey before anything happened. But still, it's kind of unsettling, right? Even here, you might not be safe.
Exactly. And it's not just about, silencing critics. Russian intelligence, they've got their fingers in everything. Squashing dissent back home, spreading all that fake news everywhere, meddling in elections, cyber attacks, hitting infrastructure. It's like they've been in war mode for years, basically.
Makes you wonder then, could something like what happened to Kuzmanov, could that happen here in the U.S.?
I don't think we can rule it out. I mean, think about it. They were willing to target someone in their own apartment garage in Spain. That's pretty bold, pretty concerning.
And it doesn't even have to be like a big dramatic assassination, right? They can make it look like an accident, a suicide, something the police wouldn't even, look twice at.
Exactly. That's what makes this counterintelligence stuff so tough. They're ghosts working in the shadows. Even if they did something, we might never, actually prove it was them.
It feels like they've been getting away with it for too long. All this aggression, and all we do is slap on sanctions.
They've definitely gotten bolder, that's for sure. Their past successes, they embolden them. But they're not unbeatable, The FBI and the other agencies, they're working hard, and there's more cooperation now between different countries' intelligence agencies.
Yeah.
Still, it's a constant game, right?
Yeah.
Cat and mouse. And the stakes, well, we've seen with Kuzmanov and all the others, the stakes are incredibly high.
What's really scary is that it's the same people in charge in Russia. Nothing's changed. They've got the same power, the same goals, and they're willing to up the ante, it seems like.
So, okay, so we've gone through all this, the defection, the assassination, the whole spy game. But why should I care? I'm not a spy or anything. Those people aren't, right? Right. But it does matter to all of us, really. This isn't just like a Russia problem or a Ukraine thing. It's bigger than that. It's like challenging the whole idea of international order.
Yeah.
The rule of law. If a powerful country can just get rid of anyone who disagrees with them and there are no consequences, what does that say about the world? About our safety?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's pretty unsettling, and it makes you think, right? Are these assassinations happening more and more? Is the West even ready for this kind of aggression from Russia? What does it mean for the future, for international relations, the whole spy world?
All good questions, and we need to be asking them. We need to understand what's happening, the threats, the tactics they use, and we need to push our leaders to do something about it. We can't just sit back and let this happen.
Right. So in this deep dive, we've looked at a lot, right? Kuzmanov's escape, that was wild, and then his murder and the evidence. It's pretty clear it was Russia, and then the bigger picture, Putin silencing anyone who speaks out against him.
And we talked about disinformation too, right? How that's become a whole new weapon, and how difficult it is for governments, Western governments, to respond to all this.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. There's always more to find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out the sources we've listed. Dive deeper into Kuzmanov's story and see what you think. Make up your own mind. This whole case, it raises more questions than it answers. But one thing's for sure, the world of spies and international conflict, it's a dangerous place. And it's getting more and more unpredictable. The stakes are higher than ever. Thanks for listening.